recording as well. Okay, so let's get started, peeps. Okay, I'll share my screen over here as well. Okay. Okay, I think by now everyone can see, right, in this case? Okay. Okay, so today we'll try like incorporate with what Ara mentioned just now in the Slack channel. So I'll just like give a little heads up on like how are we going to do the meeting today. So first things first is the dependencies if there's any, and then I'll do the I'll pass the time to BI. Ask if the squad is like the past week, is it like doing better or is it doing worse, and then later I'll move on to the SLA check like from each one of the chapters whether our SLAs are achieved or not the past week, and then what kind of issues, is it tools, adoption, or inspection, and then later on the sub discussions will be done in the breakout rooms. In this case, maybe later messaging can help setting up the breakout rooms later on. Okay, maybe that's a little bit of an overview on how the meeting is going to be for today. So, okay, let's see if there's any dependencies here. I believe there is one previously from Charisma, but I'm not sure, she's not here yet. Okay, so there's this one, right? Dependencies from Charisma over here. Okay, maybe Vidi can help like mention Karis, and then she can actually provide us the updates by today, in this case, because it's been like going on for a while. I believe in the previous meeting, Karis also didn't attend the discussion, that's why we didn't get to like follow up for this. And okay, that's one. And okay, for this one to Bila is taking food, but I think this one was already brought up, maybe to Gani. Is this already done in this? For the well hunting?
Oh yeah. We have inspect the messaging, and basically just need the adoption, but I don't think the documentation is well prepared or not. But we have bring
Okay,
to the
cool.
awareness. Yeah.
Okay. So later on, the follow-up will be done within the awareness chapter itself,
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I'll mark this as done then, in this case. And okay, that's a little bit on the dependencies. And a little bit of an update from my side. So these two checklists over here are done. So perhaps you guys can also see my report as well, for this week. Okay, so that's the first part of this meeting. Okay, the second part is actually confirmed to the BI chapter, on the squad performance. So maybe can I go to either perhaps Cinta or Vidi for the visibility on the squad performance the past week.
Cinta wants to try first. That has unstable connection.
No, I can hear you actually, Vidi.
Oh no, Cinta, unstable.
Oh, Cinta.
Right.
Okay.
In general, when I look at the stats, especially from the SLA report, the one that has a major improvement is from the awareness chapter. If you look at the awareness chapter performance SLA this week, there are last week there were only 2 achieved SLA on the SLA for LinkedIn and also the outreach distribution post, but today there are 5 achieved SLA. But in general, for the squad, it's doing better because if you look at the candidate from the top 1 activity, there's actually more activity, and the application is increasing for this week for compared to last week. However, for the middle to the lower part, it's still pretty much the same. There is no process yet, so that's the general outlook on the squad.
Okay, I see. Thank you, Vidi, for the perspective as well. So in general, the one that is doing better is the awareness side,
Yeah, the major improvement is on the awareness side, top 1 activities.
I see. Okay, cool. We noted. Thanks for the advice as well. Okay, perhaps that's a little bit of a perspective from BI actually on this. Perhaps to Ara as the as our squad lead. Perhaps do you have any any other additional thoughts on this?
On what specifically?
That
Frameworknya or frameworknya atau apa?
in general sih about the performance of the squad the past week.
Oh, nggak ada. Let's break down dulu per chapter how exactly it looks.
Okay, cool. Okay, so that's one, yeah. Okay, so apa next? Let's move on to do a quick check
Shalin.
on the SLAs over
Oh,
here.
Shaylin.
So okay, yeah, yes.
I think this is a good opportunity to actually ask the question here, which is why is awareness doing better this particular week? Was it because we followed a good plan from last week? Did awareness, or actually, what was exactly the plan that awareness agreed to implement last week? And did that actually result in some of the good results that we're seeing this week?
I will let Bila to answer first, and then I give the extra.
Okay. All right. Let's let Bila go. Bila, let's try to do this. Do you remember what we committed to do last week to fix whatever was going on in awareness?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I think most of the result that we have this week is due to the plan that we do last week, right? Because I mentioned that we didn't get much result because it was still ongoing, and then there is a delay in it,
Okay.
and then which is why I assume that this is actually the hypothesis is true because after like around 1 week after the plan, we actually got the result of it. So
Okay.
basically, yeah, that's what happened, I think.
Okay. So what I'm let's go back to Gani actually. Yeah, for the cross examination.
Okay, from my observation, it's basically the improvement of timing and messaging.
Okay. Timing and
The
messaging. Yeah.
timing,
Okay.
okay, the timing. We remember we have discussed in awareness chapter. So basically, the PR calendar is full block of university. I forgot university event, not particularly on the plan. But then last week we committed to, hey, this is not good. We need to put your plan. So every campaign put on the calendar, and then we put on the calendar, and also we improve our message. So previous message is, like Ara bring on the apa itu namanya aku lupa on the meeting. There is very basic message, but then we improve on the, and that's also apply on several campaign as well.
Okay, excellent. So let's go back to Shaylin. Shaylin, what I've heard is this, that last week we had essentially some issues that we discussed with Bila about messaging and also using the PR calendar. It seems like that by following those particular new guidelines, or those guidelines, we're now seeing success because we have the correct timing, as Gani just mentioned, by the PR calendar, and also improved messaging. Okay, all right. So, Bila, do you feel confident that by continuing and adopting these guidelines, we will see continued success? Or would you have any reason to believe that there is something up ahead that might inhibit this plan from working in the next week?
Yeah, actually, for the messaging itself, it is still on development because last week I've also come with an agreement with Kak Gani that we should try a different message in every week and then let's see which one is performing better. So I think, like right now, what we want to do is just we try to do our best to find the best messaging and then the best tools. And then if it's going, apa namanya, constantly good, then we're going to keep on continuing on that plan for next month.
Okay. Thank you. All right, let me go to Ara for cross examination on this one. Ara, the strategical question here is it better to find one thing and just stick with it or keep on kind of experimenting with new things? In your opinion, Ara, what is the correct plan?
Keep on one thing, sir.
Oh, yeah? Okay. So, Bila, how do you know that the next thing you're going to try will be better than the thing that you have already tried?
Yeah, so this is also one of my question is whether this is performing well because of the right audience that we were using for the email blast last week or because we changed the messaging because we do both at the same time, right? So yeah, which is why it's going to be confusing in a way. So if I choose the same listing of people but sending a different message, if it turning out to be to have a same a particular result, it means that it's because of the listing. But if it's but if it's performing well or worse, then it's because of the message.
Okay, Bila, this is what I would advise you to do. Bila, would you have a sub discussion with either Chinta or Vidi from BI? Okay, I think they can give you the correct analytical approach so that you can narrow down how to find your best message faster. So Ara has already mentioned it. Once you find the best thing, just commit to it, because it's like if you found the gas pedal on a car, why would you still kind of search around to find, you might actually step on the brake now, right? Okay, over to Ara again, I guess.
Yeah, basically, I was about to ask, like, okay, we're seeing a major improvement in awareness. I was about to ask, like, how are you going to be constantly delivering a good result over to Gani or Bila? Because how I see, awareness itu performance-nya yang paling fluktuatif dan tidak stable. So at some point, sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's very bad. So I think it's very key to actually maintain the stable one. And that's going to be part of my questions on how exactly. Doesn't have to be answered in here. I just want you to keep it in mind, and then maybe later on discuss in awareness gitu. Kayak gimana buat maintain. Maybe exactly what Bila said. Inspection needs to be done correctly and valid, meaning to say that you have to define which one to inspect. Misalkan, oh ini tadi gara-gara apa email blast, oh ini tadi gara-gara apa, itu needs to be actually examined further and carefully gitu sih. That's what I think. So jangan tanya ke saya, jangan tanya ke teman-teman yang lain. Awareness team harus tahu, inspect-nya harus benar juga. Jadi tahu exactly, oh ini yang bekerja, ini this is working, this is not working, and don't make it too many experiment. I think it's also the reasons why your performance in awareness itu selalu naik turun karena stability of the activity being done. That's why when Mr. Singh asked apa, I said prefer satu bagus stable rather than having so many innovations.
Perfect. Actually, I would fully agree with what Ara has done. Focus is success. Success leads to more success. All right. Once you're on a successful path, don't veer away from it. Listen up, everybody. It is important that we analyze why we don't succeed on our SLAs. As equally important, you need to know why you're succeeding too. Okay? So if you don't know why you're succeeding, then your success is luck and you cannot double down or improve or skill up. So as a chair, I think it's really important to get to the root cause of both success, because then everybody knows, okay, this is the reason why you're succeeding, and we can keep on doing that, as well as knowing the root cause for non-success. So, okay, thank you, Bila Ghani, for presenting more information. I think we have a much more clear picture now. I'll turn it back to Shaylin.
Okay, thank you for the discussion as well just now. So, okay. So, okay, maybe that's a little bit of the insight that we got from the awareness chapter, especially for their improvement, from the past week until the current week as well, in terms of the SLA as well as the performance. And okay, next, for the update itself, as Vinny mentioned just now, for the SLA wise, it's actually performing better in this case. But perhaps can I get more context from the funnel manager on how is the chapter doing right now? Is there any issues perhaps on like tools, adoption, or inspection? Maybe to Bila.
Okay, as for the friction itself, as I've already put there, that I think it's mainly because of the tool and resources. Why some of the SLA are not achieved. For example, unique page view. I think it's been months that we don't achieve our unique page view, and after some discussion with Kagani, we think that most of it because like we keep on doing our awareness to the same audience, and we are not expanded it to more audience, which is why we try to this new action in this case, which is to find new partnership. In this case, we already have few in our hands, such as for the young seeker, and then for UICC 2022, we might get new mailing list from there as well as IPB. And then there's also SAO as well as more social media content to actually drive more people to get more unique page view basically. So in that case, The problem with that is that we don't have tools that to optimize it, especially for the employee squad, especially in SAO, which is why we are going to create or maybe develop the tool in this case.
I see. So, apa general like overall, it's the issue in the tools itself, yeah. In this case, on SEO, yeah, especially. Okay, a quick question to Gani, perhaps as the apa from the awareness team. So, from the other user funnel, perhaps, is there any tools, SEO tools that we are currently using, perhaps?
Yes, currently developed by Gareth on Partnership Squad.
Hmm. Okay, cool, cool. Do you think it can be like applicable like to the employee funnel as well in this case?
Sure, it's applicable to all channel because the concept is same, but I need to prioritize. After Gareth finish the develop on partner squad, we need to develop on guest squad first, and then to employee squad.
Mm,
So yeah.
I see, I see. So the current priority is apa partnership, guest, and then the employee squad there in this case. So okay, let me get. Okay, since it's currently ongoing, right? Apa from Garrett itself for this specific project. Okay, how is the progression going? Like, is it already like ready to be used or gimana then?
It's still under developing Shalin, because it's more technical on the more technical
Hmm?
things, and
Okay.
we prepare the guideline as well.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, still ongoing. Yeah. Is there any estimation perhaps on when can we actually like utilize the tool itself?
um, I guess 3 weeks, so most probably on the next week it's supposed to be the guideline is ready to be applicable to the next uh, month.
Oh, okay, cool. So by next week, yeah, that it can be ready for partnership, especially, and then you guys, since you mentioned your priorities, of the squads as well, and then it will be implemented accordingly, yeah, in this case. Okay, cool. Excuse me. Okay, noted. Yeah, so that's a little bit of a context from the overall like overall picture on what's happening in awareness, and the issue is more into the tools itself. Yeah, but I think it's also currently like progressing, especially from the tools currently developed by Garrett in partnership. Okay, so that's a little bit from awareness. Maybe next, can we go to conversion in this case? So as mentioned just now from Vidi, that it's actually pretty much kind of similar to like the previous week in terms of the SLA performance. However, from Vera, perhaps as our funnel manager, what issues like do we have in conversion, especially? Is it actually on track or off track?
Okay, so for the adoption, wait, there are actually two issues that I found based on the data itself, right? So during last week, I do a really high inspection of the work, and I realized there are two issues. So one is tools, and then the other one is adoption issues. So the tools issues is that there are data track record abnormalities in Redash, which is why our first SLA is not achieved. But then when I record it manually, like it's actually achieved. So I was wondering if the data track is wrong, and then uh, it's the screen is black. Yeah, for the other one is adoption issues. I realized that some of the members are still not following the guidelines, even though after. But I've actually like approached some people personally, but then like I think it's still not according to the guideline again yet. So yeah, those are the two issues that I find that is very affecting the team's performance for now.
Sorry, Vera. I think my connection snapped just now. So could you like re-mention again, like about the two main issues again? Is it tools and what the other one?
It's tools and adoption issues. It's already seen in the report.
Okay, cool, cool. Thank you. Yeah. So more into tools and adoption. Okay. Um, okay. So, apa in between these two like frictions right from conversion, which one is actually more like apa ya more crucial? Is it the tools one or is it the adoption one?
I would say it's tools because, like, I was actually checking the average time to contact, right? Because it says there in the report 23.44 days, but because I'm doing the inspection, so I do know that the latest is only 3 to 4 days. And when I check each rows, there's two rows that is very weird in the track record. So, like data scientist, it says 127 days, but there's only one entry, and it was only contacted 1 day after its entry. So, actually, a question to the BI team, like, is there something wrong with it? Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, toolsnya ya in Redash especially. So, perhaps I can double check with Cinta on this one, since Cinta is currently working on Redash.
Mm, from my side, I still don't know whether there is a problem or not because because I think the problem is the same with the partnership on the partnership side. I'm gonna check it later, Kak.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Cinta. And as PD mentioned just now, I think like Vera can later like apa provide him the idea, and then apa the BI team can also like have a quick check on that. Okay, so that's apa on conversion ya guys. So next let's move on to transformation in this case. So if we see the SLA overall, it's actually pretty much apa similar to the previous week, and yeah, a little bit of a heads up. So maybe for those of you who didn't know, Asa actually like resigned, but however the SLA still apa achieves as of now for the retention wise in this case. So yeah, a little bit of a heads up. And okay, if we were to see the issue as well, right, in this case. So overall for transformation, it's more into the tools as well as the adoption. But I would actually prioritize the tools one. So why is it the tools? It's more into the apa namanya, the measurement of the SLA apa the previous week sih. So apa like whether it's actually more effective like if we measure it from like chapter or squat, so apa that's the tools issue nih from transformation in this case. And apa you guys can also like check the rest of the report to see what are the action points as well as the actionables from this specific chapter. Okay, maybe excuse me, maybe that's a little bit apa of the overall view from transformation. So perhaps next can we go to Cindy then for advocacy apa general view, like what kind of issues that are happening in advocacy, Cindy?
Okay, wait. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, so in advocacy last week, we have seen a continuous achieved SLA for the first SLA, the done, but we haven't seen much update on the hired from referrals. That's why we improved the guideline on the Instagram story graduates post and also the monthly LinkedIn advocacy guideline. Mostly about the messaging, so it can attract more calling candidates. Okay, that's it from me. Back to you, Chishelin.
Okay. Is there any issues perhaps in the apa from tools adoption or inspection? Is there any apa anything that we should put our attention to in this case? Since you mentioned that apa you have improved the guideline, right? So the tools is actually already improved. So perhaps should we pay more attention into adoption or perhaps any other things?
Mostly into adoption because the people our advocates do not really post. I mean, sometimes they do not post monthly. Sometimes they post, but only on nearing the deadline, which is nearing the end of every month. So that's why we seem. I mean, it's kind of naik turun gitu. Kalau apa belum in the end of the month, less people posting, and nearing the end of the month, more people posting.
You see, it's the okay, more into adoption then, because apa,
Mm.
it's not actually like accordingly with the tools as well as the guidelines over there. Okay, so apa, that's the update from apa advocacy in general in this case. Okay, perhaps can I go to the product team? In this case, if there's any issues perhaps in the chapter itself to Nadia.
In the issue of the chapter itself, no, we currently working on something. Not much for the employee funnel, but we're currently working for partners and employee, and also some improvement for our tools and website.
I see, I see. So more into apa projects related to improvement ya in this case. Okay, cool. And okay, what about BI then? Apa to VD perhaps?
In Blue Scott, we're working on the readers improvement, especially on the data reading. That's by Chinta. I believe it's already done for the employee squad. Yeah, already being asked like regarding the infrastructure and all that. Chinta is doing like feedback gathering from the other squads as well. Also from BI and also from PD. So that's the only project from BI.
Okay, cool. So yes, apa I believe for Cinta's apa for feedback to Cinta, the deadline is today, ya guys, if I remember correctly. So for those who haven't actually apa send your feedback to Cinta, please do it by today in this case. And excuse me. So that's a little bit update from BI. And yes, Gani, the successor is Charisma for advocacy funnel manager in this case. And yeah, okay, that's basically okay, that's apa basically it for the apa for the check itself. So now let's move on to the apa to the breakout rooms. Yeah, I think by now apa everyone is already aware, right? Like which breakout rooms to go to in this case. So for the apa for the awareness team, it's apa tools, yeah, and awareness conversion as well as transformation. You guys can go to the tools breakout room, and then for apa for advocacy into adoption, yeah, by team management in this case. So yes, I believe that's apa that's all see for this meeting. So yeah, let's meet in our own apa breakout rooms, yeah, in this case.
Oh,
Everyone clear, yeah,
Shaylin,
where to go
let's not forget.
Yes,
Let's make sure everybody who, after the breakout, when you have a plan, please give your plan to the secretary, and the secretary will put it on Coda for continuation. This is also important, everybody. There's a really important step that we might need to do that we haven't been doing, which is check. If you're the chair, check if the plan from the previous week has been implemented to success or to failure, right, at the inspection, because that is that's another check of adoption, right? We've already given a plan. Let's check if the plan actually got utilized to benefit or to not benefit. I think that's an important step. Okay, so make sure we subscribe the plan or describe your plan to the secretary before you finish your breakouts. Okay, all right. Everyone can break out now. Okay. Ara, I think I'm gonna write the exact procedures. I think for the new style meeting. I think it's about time. Yeah, I think it's time we can adopt it. Put it down. But I think it's also fairly important to check up on the last plan instead of just asking in the empty, because otherwise, actually, it can be just we look at the result and we asked did the plan work last week, and no, cannot hear you. No, no, zero. Can Cindy? Can you hear Ara? No. Oh, you could hear Ara before.
I can hear you, not Ara.
Oh, okay. Well, I was
Hello?
gonna come back.
Okay.
Hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear now. Loud and clear.
Yes, Kak Ara.
Mm.
What were you saying was about? Oh yeah, meeting. So far for the employee squad, it was correct already, right? The flows for today.
It's correct in the flow, but I just remember something. We've been forgetting this, so we should check the chairperson should check the plan to see if the plan from last week actually worked.
We did no in the beginning about the dependency.
Oh, is that what dependency means?
Yeah, dependency means like from last week, what are the actionables? We checked whether we did it, and then after that we go to the sekarang.
Oh, in that way. Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's continue
Okay.
then.
Okay, Cindy, what's up? What's the adoption issue you have?
Okay. Because I mean this program has been running quite well, but the adoption is sometimes like I'm seeing two kind of different things here. First, the messaging of our advocates. Sometimes the messaging is lacking of the calling side. That's why it haven't attract the calling candidates. That's why the referrals from hired is still zero. The hired from referrals is still zero. And the second is about the timing because most most of the people will submit a post it on LinkedIn near the guideline because I put this on their OKR, right? So that means the guideline is the end of the month.
Oh.
So in the middle of the month like this, last okay, it's from my side. There
Putus-putus, Cindy.
putus-putus kak.
Yang terakhir putus-putus.
Heeh.
Iya,
Aku
gimana?
putus-putus.
Kamu putus-putus.
Oh, from my side there are two, messaging and timing. Kan messaging itu most people, some people do not attract calling candidates because the content itself doesn't show the calling. And for the timing, because I put it in their OKR, the due date is the end of the month. So more people will post near the due date. So in tengah bulan kayak gini sepi yang post.
Sepi yang post, oke. Terus isunya maunya consistently.
Yeah, I'm thinking about consistent. So this week this person post, next week another person post.
Kenapa nggak di schedule kalau gitu?
Kalau di schedule kan jatuhnya kayak yang sebelumnya, yang the previous one that Shalin runs, but because the name is just monthly, itu I haven't think about scheduling sih kak, because I'm not sure people bandwidthnya gimana.
Okay. Sebenarnya ini kan sama kayak PR kalender, harusnya scheduling. Kalau mau konsisten ya kuncinya cuma scheduling, Cindy. What exactly the expected result you have? Oh, we have like weekly posts by each different. Then assign people and schedule them for the deadline. Itu aja kan? Frictionnya apa? Di mana?
Oh yeah, because I haven't think about that sih kak. About the scheduling.
Yeah. Oh, to you, sir?
I think, yeah, Cindy, you scheduled a meeting with people, right, to do certain things. So I think you could just do this. You meet with people. How do you normally delegate a advocacy story to somebody? What's the normal process?
Normally we encourage people to join the program, to read the program and then understand the program.
Excellent.
And then join.
Okay.
And then put it on their OKR.
How do you communicate this to people? Do you talk to them in person? Is it like a video call?
Slack.
On Slack. Okay. Here's a piece of advice. Why don't you do this at the end of your commitment, right? Just say, would I be able to count on you to deliver this by this day, right? And if so, can I just schedule a due date for the task on your calendar? And then if you do that, then essentially it's committed, right? And it shows up on their calendar and they know to do it. So I think that can be a very easy tactic that you use. And just like you would meet for a meeting, you would then also make sure that this particular thing gets done. We often schedule times to meet. We don't often schedule times for actual action to happen or deadlines to happen. So I think that could be actually a pretty good practice to make sure that things do get done in the correct way. And once you've done that, then you can count on your calendar to execute in the timing that you have planned. So you become a conductor, a director, a person who sequences a sequence of events. You just got to lead in this particular case, Cindy, because this is your, you're championing this. So other people, even if you're delegating to, let's say, someone above you or whatever, you need to kind of give them some lead, right? Like, when are they supposed to do this? And sometimes you chase, like, hey, I saw on our calendar this was supposed to be done today, but I didn't see the post yet. Would you be able to get it done right now, right? Or even just kind of like, remind them just before. That way, everybody's on track, yeah, and everybody's on calendar. Sound like a good idea? Okay, all right. Now we've given you the tool, so please adopt it and tell us what the results have been. Okay.
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 Apalagi, oh ya, I'd like to check by the way Cindy, since Karis ngapain sih? Katanya dia successornya Cindy, but I don't see visibility. Even Gani that is in the same relations with awareness juga not aware. Karis itu ngapain sekarang berarti?
Currently, she's the one that contacting people and encourage people to join the program, because previously the one all the advocates that join the program are the MBKM batch, which are her friends, and she's also make sure that they will post at the end of the month.
Can you show me a sample of her work, Cindy?
Yes.
Because she's.
That's a great idea.
Oh yeah, I also do not have that. I mean, how they encourage people to post, I do not have that.
As a senior, how can you not have your successor work? How do you inspect work?
Because all the MBKM batch posted, so I mean that can be counted as success, because that's her first task to make all the MBKM batch posted. So because
ini dia udah ngapain aja sih? Bikin post atau ngapain kerjaannya dia apa?
Ini ngajak MBKM batch buat post.
Itu doang. Dia di sini udah berapa minggu?
I don't know, around a month.
Nah, sebulan ngapain aja?
Because she's actually a DM, right? Digital marketing. So she's working more on our posts on awareness. Like she makes like 3 posts a week, and
postnya mana coba?
Mostly it's on our Instagram, Kak.
Nah, you can show kan berarti, coba.
Yeah, because the post is mainly on awareness, not really in advocacy.
Nah, ini juga di manajemen issue. Katanya dia suksesornya Cindy, tapi tapi kerjaannya awareness. Nah, itu gimana?
Yeah, because we are currently lacking of people kan. Jadi kita pinjam Karis dulu, just like we did with Wiying when we lack of people.
Oke. Wiying. Oke, coba lihat dulu. Mana yang post yang dibikin dia mana?
The last 3. And this one as well, the last 4.
Coba dibuka salah satu. Eastern Innovation. What transformation market experience? Ini apakah sudah diinspek, Cindy?
Inspect postnya atau?
Postnya.
From me, I haven't do anything about this post, Kak.
Terus yang inspect post ini siapa?
Iya sih, itu masih kurang ke situ juga, Kak.
Nah, berarti so many flaws that I detected. First, ini siapa yang inspect? Who's exactly inspecting her work? Apa cuman post dibiarin aja and then we don't care about the result, we don't care about the performance of each of the posts, atau gimana? Itu yang pertama. Kedua, at the current post that you showed me is a work in awareness. My question is that as successor in advocacy, can you give the sample of her work in advocacy? Atau dia belum pernah doing advocacy work before?
Advocacy-nya more like just checking the OKR of the MBKM batch, and this can be also counted as advocacy sih, Kak.
Okay, checking
I
the
mean, that's just
OKR
an
of
introduction.
MBKM berarti she checked Vian's OKR gitu maksudnya?
Yeah, but only for the employee advocacy LinkedIn program, not on the whole OKR. No.
Berarti siapa dong? Yang MBKM yang punya advokasi OKR kan nggak ada. Siapa?
Semuanya udah taruh itu di OKR, Kak. I've make sure that every MBKM batch people already have the employee advocacy program in their OKR like this. This one belongs to Cinta, right? Employee advocacy program, one LinkedIn post.
Okay.
This one is for March, and for the February one, also like this. And when it's done, Cinta will drop the, not only Cinta, I mean the people will drop the link like
Oke.
this.
Oke,
This
itu kan
link.
contohnya ini Cindy. Terus punya karisma mana komennya?
Ya belum, Kak.
Belum, ini berarti nggak ngapa-ngapain dong dia selama sebulan. Aku nggak paham dia kerjanya ngapain dong. Bikin 4 post Instagram udah selama sebulan itu doang.
Per minggu 3 post Instagramnya per minggu. Terus kalau ini memang kemarin masih apa namanya, masih aku yang ngerjain sih. Memang belum handover yang seperti ini.
Mentornya
Jadi dia baru cek aja.
Mentornya Karis siapa?
Wait, aku nggak tahu, Kak.
So no one manage her.
Dia
not
successor
sure.
kamu loh, probably Kak Gani, Kak, because I'm not sure sih.
Okay. Yeah, this is sample of wasted resources then. Kalau memang dia nggak ngapa-ngapain, and it's exactly why. Kalau kamu bilang Gani juga nggak aware. Siapa tadi juga Gani nggak tahu kan? Cindy kapan off board?
18
of March.
4
hari lagi.
Terus
si Karis disuruh jadi successor kamu dalam 4 hari. With no
Yeah,
experience.
currently I'm supervising her work sih, Kak. Jadi this week she will start doing the work on advocacy and I will supervise.
Iya, apa worknya coba? I don't see any work. Work apa maksudnya di advocacy? Apa yang kamu supervise itu apa?
Kayak ini, apa checking OKR seperti yang like the one I did for Cinta.
Mana? Kerjaannya mana? Show me coba.
Yeah, not yet, Kak, not yet. We'll start.
Berarti kan nggak ada worknya dong, Cindy. Apanya yang di-inspect? Berarti dia nggak working dong.
Yeah, not yet sih, Kak. Starting for this week.
Starting from this week, ini hari ini baru mulai apa gimana? Tapi kan
baru hari ini mulai karena tadi kita pairing.
But you just said that you already inspect all the OKR.
Gimana, Kak?
You said that she already inspect the OKR. Ya mana? Inspectionnya dia mana? Where is her inspections?
Oh yeah, she also send me like siapa yang belum post gitu. Tapi by Slack aja, Kak. Nih like this week. Like this. This was sent on March 5th, the beginning of Maret. So this is for February OKR. She said like this, MBKR yang udah done siapa, unfinished siapa.
Oke. Udah itu doang kerjaannya di advocacy?
Currently masih itu karena yang projectnya kan sudah lumayan established.
Project yang mana?
Yang monthly LinkedIn advocacy. Sama yang Instagram story graduates.
Oke, ini for me this is not working ya, first of all, Cindy. Ini apa? Ini cuma ngecek doang, udah taruh di, ini bukan working sama sekali for me. It's just checking if everyone wearing a blue t-shirt. That's it for me. Oh yeah, ini udah, this is the list of people that already did. This is the list. Meanwhile, you only have 4 days left for the handover. Now my question is that, do you have the handover paper for your successor on what exactly she will do in the future?
For my handover paper already done, but for Karis for the details not yet. We'll have another pairing about.
Will what?
we'll have another pairing about this or
Kapan
asynchronously.
pairingnya?
By this week ya harusnya by this week sih. Maksudnya
By this week kamu offboarding 4 hari loh.
ya today or tomorrow.
Cindy aware nggak sih frictionnya di mana ini?
Team management Kak. From me.
Nggak, maksudnya ngerti nggak cost-nya apa? What is the cost right now? That you are living in 4 days and then handover-nya belum ada, belum meeting sama Karis, belum pernah nyobain kerjaan advokasi juga Karisnya.
Tell me Kak. Would you elaborate?
Ya, friction-nya ini loh. Kan Karis itu sudah sebulan di sini. Kenapa Cindy nggak take care berpikir bahwa, oh ini Karis successor aku harus latih. Aku harus training. Aku harus kasih tahu kerjaannya. Kan gitu nalarnya gimana Cindy? Terus
Because
sekarang kalau Cindy
kan,
offboard 4 hari, dia nggak ngerti apa-apa, terus siapa yang ngerjain kerjanya Cindy nanti?
Yeah, because previously I started to think about my successor baru this month juga sih Kak. Jadi sebelumnya kan we think about hiring another PR, but we still don't get any PR right now. So baru mau mulai handover ke Karisnya juga telat.
Nah, that's not a reasoning. Awal bulan aja kalau kamu baru mulai tanggal 1 Maret sudah 2 minggu, harusnya udah cukup. Ini tinggal 4 hari sekarang. Terus gimana? Responsible-nya Cindy gimana akhirnya nanti? What is your plan for actually having the delegation and transition smooth?
Mungkin lebih ke give Karis more understanding and start inspecting her work aja sih Kak.
In 4 days? In only 4 days?
Yeah.
How is that going to be doable? What is the activity exactly that you're going to be doing for her?
For the activity, I'm also not sure Kak, what activity should I hand over because the project is already.
Did I crash the dash?
Kok 2001? Oh enggak, ini 2020, oke.
Ini kartu lamanya ada sih. Memang masuknya Juli 2021.
Oke, ya itu, karena itu.
Oh.
Jadi karena dia
to the project itu Kak. Related to the monthly LinkedIn advocacy program.
Ya, coba 1, bikin post LinkedIn, 2, upload picture, 3, edit foto, 4, ngapain aja coba di list. Coba disebutin.
For the advocacy funnel manager kan Kak? Ya, when checking the OKR ini weekly, kan for the SLA update. Weekly kita cek ini. Terus lah itu kalau misalnya nearing the end, ya kita bikin kayak gini yang udah done siapa, who haven't done, who haven't finished. Seperti itu. And then each time we have intern with IGP, Karis will also check with Shelin whether the person already upload the IG story graduates post.
Berarti so far kerjaannya advokasi ini cuma ngurusin post Instagram tok?
Sama LinkedIn.
Tok, itu tok ya? Oke. Terus ini Karis udah ngerti semua workflow-nya, Cindy?
Udah sih already. Itu already done the pairing and also the she also started to help me. Ini kan checking juga, terus cross check with the person why belum post, kenapa belum post. She also ask for the friction for each person in the last month, mereka frictionnya apa.
Terus tadi nggak join meeting, menurut Cindy emang bisa dia inspect dan lapor terkait advocacy funnel manager next time? Tadi aja nggak join meeting.
Ya Kak, because sometimes her class schedule is not really well sih.
Oke.
Dosen emang friction di dosennya sih.
Ini broken for me ya. This is a broken cycle, a broken loop. Setelah Cindy udah nggak ada orang berarti hitungannya. Ini bukan successor.
Ini ngerti nggak konsep successor itu apa? Successor itu adalah orang pengganti yang mengerti benar-benar apa SLA-nya, bagaimana reporting, bukan cuma cek OKR orang, bukan kayak gitu. Purpose-nya apa di advocacy, kemudian project, current project, future project, vision-nya apa, ngerti. Jadi bukan segampang, kamu cek OKR ya, nanti siapa aja 10 orang ini yang udah ngerjain, mana yang belum, nggak kayak gitu. Funnel manager itu someone with actually competence and capacity to actually follow the purpose gitu loh. Kalau kayak gini berarti jangan bilang karis successor, bukan, nggak ada. Successor kamu nggak ada, Cindy. Kamu nggak delegate apa-apa, belum delegate apa-apa, nggak ada yang paham gitu loh. So I would prefer, my advice right now, delegate to Gani then if possible. Bukan karis, karena karis doesn't understand how advocacy works, does have zero knowledge on how exactly it should be properly done, karena Cindy juga udah transitions buat offboarding, dan 4 hari itu tidak cukup untuk transferring the purpose, transferring the capacity and capability. Kalau Gani later on mau delegate advocacy, ya mungkin bisa pelan-pelan. Reporting yang simple-simple kayak gini, oh ini udah ngerjain ini, mungkin bisa. Cuman to drive the advocacy chapter to actually meeting the SLA, I don't think Karis is ready. Gitu.
Ara, what do you think about bringing in maybe somebody else who is on advocacy? Wait, we don't, right? It's only Tendi, Cindy, Bila.
And he's even not in advocacy anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, either Bila or Gani.
Wait, do we move Aya over to advocacy?
Yeah, Aya, but for guest funnel, right?
Yeah. Do you think across user? Okay, well, I'll leave it to you. Here. Okay. All right. Yeah.
No, it should be the closest one is like somebody that is currently working, right, sir? So mostly Bila or Gani. That's my advice. Aya is new, Tendi is transitioning out for transformations.
That's
so
right.
those both, yeah, the only options. Gitu. Cindy, paham nggak sampai sini? Harus ngapain? Habis ini mau ngapain berarti?
I'll consult to Kak Gani first sih, whether he will accept the delegation or no.
Kalau Gani nggak accept gimana?
Yang belum ada ide lagi, Kak.
Terus sini mau ngapain?
Mungkin lebih ke, iya sih, tanya ke Mas Gani dulu aja.
Tanya Gani atau Bila. Gitu. This is very disappointing to know that you late to actually recognize siapa yang di-delegate. Kemudian treatment, mungkin kalau in mind idenya, oh aku bakal delegate ke Karis, mungkin sudah sebulan yang lalu, tapi tidak ada action khususnya ngapain, di-delegate itu ngapain. Ngecek kayak gini nih bukan skill wise, tidak membutuhkan skill sama sekali untuk ngecek, ini udah ngerjain OKR, ini belum OKR. Nggak perlu orang pinter di advokasi, Cindy. Ini Eka aja terlalu pinter buat ngerjain ini gitu, buat nge-inspect, oh ini udah ngerjain OKR. Enggak dong, advokasi kan has to be somebody that really competent and capable to actually do being an advocate. Itu kan poinnya. Kalau cuman suruh ngecek begini doang, ini bukan, nggak ada skillnya. Nggak perlu pinter gitu. Anak SD juga bisa sebenarnya gitu loh. Jadi itu failsnya di situ. Kenapa nggak didetect dari kemarin-kemarin kalau memang Cindy mau offboard, karena itu tanggung jawab Cindy kan untuk delegate. Nah sekarang masih jadi tanggung jawab Cindy untuk cari siapa nih berarti yang mau kamu delegate, either Bila atau Gani. Silahkan kamu discuss, and it has to be, kasih aku nama by the end of today. Nggak bisa the end of this week, nggak bisa dong, orang kamu tinggal 4 hari. Jadi harus dapat namanya hari ini siapa. Kalau jauh-jauh hari bisa milih, oh bisa anak intern mungkin alias. Sekarang nggak bisa, udah mepet, mereka mau training apa lagi, harus yang sudah expert, harus yang udah fasih. Which is
PR, something like that, right? Tapi ya itu, kayak mungkin visibility-nya itu lebih paling optimal itu di satu squad dan satu chapter. Gitu. Oke? That's good. What else? Ada chapter lain lagi? Nadia. Your PD, not ini. Apa?
the next meeting on Friday then ya.
Nggak bisa Kak, UPP. Ya.
UPP kapan? Kamu IGP-nya kapan?
Ujian proposal Kak. IGP-nya Jumat juga.
Ya berarti on Friday dong. I'll see you on Friday dong. No?
Ya, sih. Ya, oke.
Oke deh. Okay, that's
Okay.
it. Please report that to secretary ya. That I
Yeah.
will wait for. Oh, sekretarinya Vicky ya.
Hello, Cindy. Yeah. Any results from this adoption